And we're live. Hey guys, it's David here from the Whiskey Rebellion. Hope everyone's having a good night. Thank you folks who are joining us. Already see viewers spilling in here a little bit. We've got a bunch of people who haven't been here in a little while, so really happy. I said before we started that all the most important people are here. Jody's teaching a class on Mondays right now. That's why he's not here. But we are going to give him shit for not being here regardless, because that's what we do.
Hell yes.
Anyway, it's great to see everybody. Sorry I wasn't here last week. As being the other host, I got kind of roped into for a good cause, but I was moving furniture. I had to get a couch up a flight of stairs and stuff. So that kind of took precedent, unfortunately. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see everybody. What are we all drinking tonight? Let's start off with Chuck, since you haven't been here in a good long time. What you got, sir?
All right. Well, tonight I'm drinking Old Forester King Ranch.
Oh,
Nice.
it's a very nice one.
Got this one in Texas, of course. I've been doing a lot of work in Texas. So every time I go out there to Specs in Angleton, I stop by and try to at least grab one of these and maybe like an OKI Reserve or something like that. And anything that's good, actually, I try to grab hold of, or things that I can't find here.
One of the joys of travel. Good.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let me see here. Rob, what you got, sir?
So, I picked up the other day little Lux Road Distillers. This is the double single barrel.
Such a beautiful bottle.
It's a really nice bottle. And I'll tell you what, this is a really great sip. I just cracked it open before we started. It's really nice. A little light, got a little citrus, got a little. I mean, it's got the obvious bourbon notes, but I'm picking up a good bit of citrus, tangerine, tangelo kind of a thing.
Okay.
Really nice.
Citrus, like little pops of fruity taste in there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I have to ask, like, what porn are you watching right now? Because your screen, like all the wild colors, like I need to know. Like you can turn the volume on if you want. Like it's okay.
Because
like,
Dallas.
You gotta share it with the class.
No, you know what? On the TV, I've got WWE on.
Oh, okay.
Monday Night Raw is on.
Same difference, that we're in a little bit of close, but anyway. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of
good question.
Speaking of porn, Mr. BBC, how's it going there? Sorry.
What's up, my brothers?
You got jokes tonight.
I'm actually checking in from DC. I had to make a kind of last minute emergency trip to DC, but all is well. I'm sitting with my young man. He's on the side sipping. We are sipping this rum. It is Vizcaya 21 cask, which is a bourbon aged or bourbon additionally aged or finished rum. Their rums are, this is Oliver and Oliver. I think I've talked about Optimus on here before.
Yes.
Their rums are all sugarcane, so they're a little sweeter. If you like sweeter rums, it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
And this is the birthday boy here.
Hey guys,
He'll be 82
Wednesday.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, he'll be 82.
Raise him up for that.
Awesome.
Hey, happy birthday.
That's a good one. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yes. Other than that, that's it. Yeah, we
Very nice.
it's interesting. I got a chance to see Annie.
Yeah,
I saw that pic.
Very cool.
Great pic.
She's looking good. She's working with Prof. They are doing. I did pick up a bottle. So I picked up what's the Bardstown? The white label Bardstown. I forget which one, but
The Origin.
The Origin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Good stuff. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
she
Yeah, that
did-
was cool. It was a cool little cameo.
You didn't hit me too hard with the Prof price. Yeah.
Not too hard.
Yeah, actually, I was surprised she was here. I didn't know she was here. It's funny because I went to a place called Fountain Inn, which again has the absolute best old fashions. You come to DC, tell them I sent you, tell them you know Annie. Fire old fashions. But anyway, we were sitting there talking and sipping. This dude here, he fucking down, excuse my French, he's downing old fashions like it was Kool-Aid. I won't tell you what the birthday bill was. This is just for old fashions, but anyway. But we're sitting there talking, and I was like, yeah, I said, I know Annie's there because they were going down to Jack. They're doing a pick with Jack. And he's like, no, Annie's back. Oh, well, let me reach out. So we had a few there, 7 or 8. We went over to yeah. So Bourbon Concierge, they have a secondary shop, and so we were in there with Annie, and I don't even know. I lost track of what we were tasting. Pretty good though. She had one 7-year MGP. 7 or was it 11 year?
I don't know like this.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, it was good. So, but anyway, yeah.
That's great. Yeah, man. Yeah. Cool.
He took good care of his dad.
Good
Good.
He's a good man.
That's the important part.
You know, he always take good care of his dad. Good take care of him. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You took care of him. All right.
He's not drunk yet, so
Yeah.
We'll stay with us on the show. We'll get you
right.
We'll get you drunk tonight.
Again,
apparently. 7 or 8. Gino, what you drinking, sir?
Oh, I'm enjoying some Rebel cast strength single barrel select. This was a store pick. Brook liquor store there in Morgantown.
Damn, I need a Luxor bottle.
Yeah, this is excellent pour. Right off the nose, man. It's got a really big time honey on the nose right off the bat. And it's kind of a shame that it doesn't carry over into the taste. It more or less, I mean, get hints of this and that, like a little bit of peanut brittle, caramel, some vanilla, some tobacco on it. And then the finish just keeps going and going, and the caramel comes in. It's like caramel, like if you just made some caramel on the stove and it's cooling down where it's still warm, but it's edible. That flavor of caramel, and it just kind of lingers, fades away into like a little bit of a cinnamon finish. It's good stuff.
Very nice.
Very drinkable at 120
good.
proof. There is no bite to this
120.
whatsoever.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen a few short picks around. I haven't picked any up.
Yeah,
but
this is worth it.
Nice. Good
Luxrose puts a really solid product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that 4 grain they came out with not long ago. I'm on the second bottle of that. It's good stuff too.
No doubt. Well, very cool. Billy, sir. Last but not least.
I'm not doing anything in particular, just some Buffalo Trace.
Nothing wrong with it?
Trying to go through some of the stuff that I have opening, trying to get through that. The wife is now a Michter's fan. She basically killed a Michter's sour batch by herself. Sour mash by herself. Nice. So it's the Monsters recreate. She's doing a lot better. So that's good.
It's a bad enough habit for one person, but 2 in the same house.
Yeah.
You got problems, man. You got to scale up.
But can I really complain though? I can smoke cigars and
hell no,
with my wife. No. She's into barbecue with me. I need to just shut up, right?
Yeah,
I can take her
lucked up, man. That's a good match. A good match.
Just shut up, you know.
Jeeps and whiskey and cigars.
Listen, I want to go to the food store every weekend, but no, she's like, "What are we drinking?"
Oh, yes, sir.
So everything's coming.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is. Everything's coming well with the restaurant. I'm gonna have a soft opening date soon, and also I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate it. But I want to do something where I can incorporate, some bourbon and some cigars, maybe do something after hours, kind of a tasting, if you will. So everything has been good, tired as hell, but hey, I shall not complain. It's good to be here and glad to see all you guys as well.
You too, man. And that's good, man. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see like pictures and stuff and everything and videos. I'm sure you'll do when you do your opening. So very, very pumped for that. Very excited about your products. Of course, we're all fans here. Myself, I am drinking. I'm kind of like you, like what's been open and laying around. Like maybe I need to work on killing a couple of bottles here and there. And I'm drinking the George Dickel 15 year, working through that. It's a nice drink. I enjoy it. A lot more than
that yet.
You should. I would recommend this one. There is. It kind of lingers on the back of your throat, like a little bit of ethanol burn. too bad. It's enjoyable of Dickel products. It is the 15. I know there's, I think there's 16 and 17 out somewhere, at least 16. And I couldn't speak to those. This one I do think is a pretty good one overall. But again, I always tell people to avoid like their bourbon, like just their regular bourbon. Do not like it. No, it is not worth it. I tried it once and I was like, yeah, I like the 15. Maybe I like, like just their bourbon. No, don't do it.
No.
And you will also find an inescapable once somebody puts it in your head, which I'm about to do, is that it has kind of like a subtle taste of like Flintstones vitamins. You will never not think about it when you ever try it again. Like it is very bad on the bourbon. But in this one, like you can kind of get like a little bit of a vibe of it, but like not too bad. No, it's enjoyable. So that's me tonight. Topic wise, I want to avoid anything political if we can, but it was about, Super Bowl's coming up Sunday. Some of us watch football. I might watch it this Sunday just because it's, it's the big game, the superb owl, as I put it in the title. But we can generalize this out to, protect ourselves from getting into anything, events like this where you get together, and not just like drink, but like, what are like your favorite, like things to munch on, or that you like to make for yourself or to have for other people, or what you're looking forward to if you go to somebody's house that you would want to eat and drink if you're going to go to, whether or not it's a sports game or you're watching an MMA fight or, whatever. But something like that, like instead of going to a sports bar, you go to your buddy's house.
Well, for me, I really don't care because so far on order, I have 40 briskets and 120 racks of ribs. So I'm just gonna make some money.
You're all cooked out, huh?
I'm still pissed off I didn't know Billy because I haven't been home for a Super Bowl since 2018.
Oh man!
For some reason, this will be the first Sunday I've been home since I think 2018. I've been on a plane. I was on a plane Super Bowl Sunday when it was at Hollywood. In Hollywood, was that 2019 to 2019? No, the COVID Super Bowl right before COVID.
Yeah, that was here.
Yeah, I was down there.
Oh,
I was on a plane full of Billy, what do we call them?
That was like right when it was starting to get bad, right?
Yeah. So
my entire flight was all strippers and dancers. Like all these girls in mini skirts and slippers. I kid you not. Whole flight.
They was all going down to make money, bro.
Yeah,
that's it.
Adult entertainment.
And we were flying Super Bowl Sunday.
So if you guys can remember, right after the Super Bowl, things got drastically worse.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl here was a super spreader because COVID was already here, but we didn't know about it. But COVID was here. Things got really, really bad. But everybody made money, so nobody cared.
Yeah. I think I was getting over COVID when that happened.
And again, this month we got Formula One coming around again, and they just announced it yesterday at the Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami. We're going to get 7 World Cup games here in Miami. 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy, man, I'm so mad I didn't know you, bro.
How was that?
I'm so mad I didn't know you then. I said it was right before COVID. I was down there. I almost got into a fight at the casino. I have to tell you about this, man. These guys, three random guys. I'm in a casino and I was in the cigar lounge smoking. So of course, I'm flirting with the girl in there. Oh, she was fine. But anyway, but she's like, "You have to taste this."
It's a good thing nobody watches this, man.
You have to taste. So yeah, I was walking out drunk, and these 3 guys come out. I'll give you the rest offline, but they started talking about, do I like getting head? And I'm like, hold on, I don't know you. Why are you referring to my penis? I don't know you.
That's a non-starter.
I'm walking around the hall casino.
There's no good end to that conversation.
No, none at all. So I said, let me get on the phone. Let me make a phone call because if I go to jail tonight, somebody knows where I am. Because I'm gonna have to whoop 3 dudes in the bathroom. It was the weirdest night, but anyway, I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, that sounds like choices were made that night.
Yeah, you don't come to a man you don't know and discuss those things. No,
Yeah.
I don't know you.
That's weird.
No,
for sure.
No. It's
No,
very
But
I mean,
I am curious about one thing though. Before you, so you were saying you were down and flying and all this other stuff, like right when COVID, like, and you said you were getting over it, like right. Were you like the original super spreader, like the amount of traveling you did while you had COVID, like
it's funny.
Were you patient zero?
I could very well be. So here's the thing, right? So
see, he didn't deny it.
No,
he didn't deny.
So look, hey, Gino, look. So December, Christmas of 2019. We go to Hawaii, right? So we're in Hawaii, and I'm feeling sick. And I'm like, what the is going on? Now I know my body. I'm a healthcare person. I know my body. It wasn't a flu. It wasn't a cold. It wasn't a sinus infection. I had no clue what it was. I felt horrible. I got home. I was like, okay. I was like, I hope this is not that thing. But if you've ever been to Honolulu or Oahu, it's full of Chinese and Japanese. And I'm not trying to be, but it is.
There's a large Japanese population. Yeah.
Like if you can go to the mall and half the writing in Oahu is in Japanese and Chinese. Yeah. There's more writing in Japanese and Chinese than it is in English. Yeah. So I don't know, but I know when I got home, I just felt horrible, and I had to fly. I had to fly feeling bad. Landed. I felt bad up until for 2 weeks. It was good. I didn't have to travel until I had to travel to King Holiday. And then I had to fly I flew to West Palm. Then I went to Frederick, and I went back to West Palm Super Bowl Sunday. And I was just feeling better when I was heading down to Florida. So I was looking forward to a cigarette. I mean, to a cigar and some whiskey. I was looking forward to it.
To being able to taste those things again.
Yeah, and then I got the Three Stooges when I asked me great questions. But then a flight for
I mean, despite being busy for the Super Bowl, if I had to go to a Super Bowl party, I would expect my friends to be a little bit elevated. I'm sorry. Somebody better know how to make a decent pizza. Yeah. Of course, I'm going to bring the barbecue. And everybody bring some decent cigars and bring some decent bourbon. Because half of the time we're going to not be watching the game, and especially if your team is getting their asses handed to them,
you're not going to be dialed into that. Yeah.
No. So, I like a different selection of foods. I'm not into sushi, but here in South Florida, sushi is nice for a party like that. Of course, you can do like a Korean type barbecue. Most people just have a tendency to do wings and pizza, which there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. If anybody's close to a Publix, Publix chicken tenders are fire, so it's nothing wrong with that. Their fried chicken is, nothing to be mad about. So just elevate the game a little bit. But I like to consider myself, if I'm going to go to somebody's house, it's somebody with a little bit of maturity to them. So,
Hopefully.
I might have the Super Bowl party at Rob's house, and I can steal all his Penelope. That's what I'm into.
Yeah. Now, what we do is, we do the wing thing. We don't do the pizza, but we do the wings. I make the wings up with a couple different sauces on them and sliders. I like to keep everything, handheld, nice, easy handheld stuff. I do 2 different sliders. I do a ham and Swiss, and then turkey and cheddar, and that's what I make up. And I don't go to someone else's house because I do enjoy my drink, and I'm not going to drink and drive.
Yeah,
smart choice.
If it's going to be a Super Bowl, it's going to be here. So in my area, welcome to show up. I'll feed you. You won't go hungry.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
I will most likely avoid watching the game at all costs. I haven't. I think I've watched a half of football this entire season, total.
Wow.
So what happens in that game is completely irrelevant to me. I don't get me wrong. I'm probably still going to have some good food that night. I'm going to. I got some fresh wings coming in at work. I think I'm going to fire up the smoker and smoke some wings, and whatever bourbon I feel like pouring that night, I'll just turn around and pick a bottle. But I won't go anywhere. It's like another freaking amateur night.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
My holiday's coming up, man. That's going to be St. Pat's Day.
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right.
and St. Pat's
Still
Day
amateur
falls on
night.
a
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So falls on a Sunday, so that means Saturday night.
Yep.
Boom.
Saturday night's gonna be fun.
Rob's gonna have to put the seatbelt on the chair.
much Guinness will be drank that day.
Good call. Oh, I wanted to get some Murphy's or some Irish whiskey.
Oh, I wonder if I have.
Murphy's is good. I like
I have any earrings,
Murphy's
Rob.
good
I seen
stuff.
some earrings. I don't know if I have any more, but I'll send you some, brother.
All right.
Nice.
You gotta have an Irish cigar.
All right.
Irish cigar.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
Well, they
maybe-
made it.
Specifically.
Just the Aaron Go Bras. It's an Irish
Yeah.
something, but they're not great. They're decent, but it's
Okay.
St.
Yeah.
Patty's Day. You gotta smoke one.
Got to smoke one.
What about you, Chuck? What does the Super Bowl party look like for you if you go or if you host one?
Actually, I don't do the Super Bowl at all. We do the Puppy Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, much
beforehand.
better.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just never got into the Super Bowl stuff, even football. I did when I was younger, but just got out of it years ago. Not for any particular reason, just didn't care for it anymore. Fell in love with baseball again, and
Go
but as
Nats.
far as what I would do, of course we'll watch the Puppy Bowl, and because of the dog thing,
Of course.
and the girls like it, but probably do pierogies,
Mm.
Nice.
meatballs and meatball sandwiches, good sauce with it. What else? Roast beef sandwiches with gravy. Just
Nice. Good
small,
old school.
Nice hearty food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
betcha.
There you go.
Open face. Oh,
yeah. Love open face roast beef.
I should have
And
ate
some-
more before we started the show.
And some of those,
I'm like, damn.
yeah.
He's talking about his sauce. Everyone's talking about all the food they're cooking.
Costco's got some really nice cheese. It's like a wrapped in what is it?
Pastry.
No, it's
You like the salami wrap ones
Yeah.
or whatever? I know what you're
like
talking
they're,
about.
they're
Oh,
wrapped
okay.
with some type of ham.
Or prosciutto or something.
prosciutto.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're really good. And
Yeah,
it's
they're
just stuff
good.
like that, little finger foods,
Mhm.
things like that.
Handheld stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Nice.
basically something that you can basically just enjoy a little of this, a little of that, a little of this, a little of that,
Yep.
and go around.
Yeah.
Put out a nice cheese board or something like that.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. I think people underestimate a good cheese board. It can really go over well,
Hmm.
especially if it's you have a group of people who has somewhat of an educated palate. We're not just talking about your regular cheddars and Swiss, like some really good cheeses.
Yeah.
Like
And
some
then add some
nice
crackers to it,
bries.
olives,
Yeah, absolutely.
stuff like that. Yeah.
That I can definitely get into that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
charcuterie or whatever you call it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
Charcuterie. Yeah. We said it at the same time.
Let go, little coochie.
You gotta get that coochie board,
Oh, yeah. Gotta get you some coochie.
Hon, what do we do with that coochie board?
Coochie.
I did a question for Chuck. That bottle you're drinking tonight, is that kind of a thing exclusive to that area in Texas? Because I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's basically a Texas bottle.
Okay.
I've heard that it's only available in Texas. It's 105 proof, and it's really, really good. It's got some really nice, it's like a Werther's creaminess, but then at the same time, it's got like a, what do you call them? The taffy, that's the round ones, blow pops.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
the Charms. The Tootsie
What's
Rolls.
that?
The Charms Tootsie
The
Rolls.
Tootsie Pops?
Yes, Tootsie Pops.
Ah.
It's got like that candiness to it.
Okay.
Okay.
But then it also, on the back end, it finishes with the Tootsie Roll type.
Little
They need to
milk
put the
chocolate
owl
kinda-
on the bottle.
Yes, they do. And it's got like a leathery finish to it where it's just a hint of like drying, but not overbearingly dry. So it's not where it dries you really, out a lot, but it's just a hint of dryness to it on the back end, and it's really nice.
I was gonna ask. I mean, that seems kind of characteristic to like Texas whiskeys. At least that's kind of what I associate. It's gonna be like a little bit drier, a little bit tannic, a little bit, a little bit peppery, kind of forward. Typically, is the palates I've seen of, and I haven't, had a bunch of Texas whiskeys, but basically all the ones I've had, it usually have, some kind of vibe like that.
Right. But with Texas whiskey, it's same thing with Alabama, with Dettling. You get that really dark color to it. Almost looks like motor oil. Not this one. This one looks just like your basic Old Forester in color. It's a little darker, but not by much. And it just doesn't have those characteristics where it's Texas whiskey it can be overbearing at times. And
Yes.
you have to be
Not
ready
too hot
for
and
it.
too young.
You can't just take a big gulp of it and go, yeah, this is good stuff, because it's gonna hit you right in the face.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because with Texas whiskeys, you can age those things 2 years, some of them, and they're ready to go. Some of them, if you age them 3 or 4, they've been ready to go, and they're well past their time.
Over oaked, and
they're over oaked, of course, and they're just very strong.
Over oaked.
And they can be very ethanol forward.
That's where, they're getting all that tannic, like you were talking about, getting all that tannic in it when you taste it there.
Yeah,
that's where it's from. It's been in the barrel too long.
Mm-hmm.
That's a concept we don't really talk about all that often. Like how long is too long in the barrel? I guess when it comes to Texas whiskeys, apparently it's 3 years. But
it depends, I think.
Yeah, I know.
Depends on a lot of things.
On the mash bill, the conditions and everything.
Yeah.
But
you got a lot of heat down there, so
right.
Yeah, they really do. I'd imagine the climate there does play a role in all that as well.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask the group if anybody's, we had that conversation in the VIP chat today, and I went on a little bit too long about it, but it was the Traveler.
Yeah.
Has anybody here tried it? And what did you think about my comments about that?
Did you see my rebuttal? I agree with all your comments on that, and I kind of equate it because there's nothing really it's nothing wrong with it.
Yep.
It's a nice whiskey, but there's nothing that stands out about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's light. It's very, very drinkable, very, very approachable. And I said, it's kind of like the lawnmower beer of whiskey. But at a 40 some odd dollar price point, it's not going to be my lawnmower beer of whiskey.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mentioned mine like the evening when I first tried it, but I have to preface it because I was smoking a cigar. But for me, it just was all I just got was vanilla, and it was super light. It was like, okay, I took a sip, I got vanilla, and then nothing.
Huh.
I was like, okay.
That's called the Traveler.
Yeah,
I think
I didn't get a chance to read your comment. I was running around.
I love Chuck. Chuck kills it. So Chuck will, Chuck kills his reviews.
Yeah, and Chuck,
I can do a little bit, but it was still probably not even for my little bit. That was a little light, but again, I was smoking a cigar, and so my guy was like, he's like, Mark, try this. I was like, all right, if my guy gives me something, I'll try it. Mm-hmm. So as I'm sipping it, I'm like, okay, what's this? He's like, Traveler. I was like, oh, that's the Chris Staples. Yeah, it's okay. It smells nice.
Cigar will bear if it's as light as Chuck is saying, cigar is going to bury that.
It did, and that's like I said. All I got was I just got initially. I got nothing. It was super light, and that's why I mentioned to me, although it's 90 proof, it drank lighter than basil.
Yep.
Right.
It could be 90 proof. I'm like, this doesn't drink like a 90 proof.
Right.
But that's also why I said it would be a good starter whiskey.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
just vanilla heavy. And again, cigar, but it was just all I got was vanilla gone.
Right.
Vanilla
And Chuck,
gone.
I thought your review was kind of right on point. Of course, I haven't tried it because I don't even think it's gonna make its way down here. But it seems like
it'll make its way down there.
It will.
Yeah.
Buffalo
Yeah.
Trace and Chris Stapleton, yeah.
It seems as if it's just something that caught fire on social media. You know, that's what it feels like. It everybody wanted it all of a sudden.
It's a Buffalo Trace product, Billy.
Yeah,
and Buffalo Trace is BJ.
That's it.
And,
right, but people walk past Buffalo Trace all the time now.
But
you know,
attached to Chris Stapleton.
Yeah,
he put out that song. I mean, you may not follow country music, but he put out that song a few years ago, Tennessee Whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
He sang the national anthem in the last Super Bowl. He's fairly popular nowadays, and all of a sudden, boom.
Here's his whiskey, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's like Chuck, related in his review. There's really nothing that stands out about that.
No.
Cigar or no cigar, you didn't miss nothing with that cigar.
It's just
not there.
Really, it's so like I saw Jody get. I was like, Jody, I don't think Jody he's gonna like this. I just don't see it. It's not like I said, it's not bad.
It's nothing wrong with it. It's just,
and it's funny because it dropped in Costco today in Arizona, and the Costco's had it at 32. I was like, okay, now 32, I would probably buy.
I'd try a lot of things at 32.
Because again, my guy, he told me out of the case, his price is 28 a bottle. So I was like, okay, I wouldn't pay more than maybe, and that's why I said maybe 35. So if it's one there when I get back, I'm not back to Arizona until Saturday. Excuse me, I'm sorry. If I can catch it, I will. For 30, I will, but otherwise, no.
Yeah.
And
it made it to Bruce Mills, dude. It's bound to make it to Miami.
Yeah. I'm sure, and I mean, I'll pick up a bottle. I'm sure the price will be decent, and I'll try it. But I think again, it's just something that on media they caught fire because 1 minute it was all over TikTok, then it was all over Instagram, then it was all over Facebook.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't want to use the word tater, but it's kind of like it's something that I feel like got overhyped, but it's going to seriously underdeliver.
Right.
You know,
and
like Mark was saying, for me, I don't know when I'm not having a drink and I'm not having a cigar with it, and all the cigars I smoke are a big ring gauge,
it's heavy,
and they're full body cigars.
So they overpower it.
You need something
it'll kill this.
Yeah, I'm doing a 7,000 or a Camacho or something like that. I won't even taste it.
Nope.
But here's one thing, and Mark alluded to that. We could be looking at it totally wrong. It could be that not only with the hype, with the country singer name attached to it all, starter whiskey. Maybe that's what it's going to evolve into, to bring people back into the whiskey bourbon thing. Maybe they're afraid people are moving off to different subjects. This is something to bring them back to keep them interested.
Yeah.
With the hype, with the approachability to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's something anybody can really drink. I mean, it says it's 90 proof. It does not drink 90 proof.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be kind of the key selling part. Obviously, this thing is not marketed with people like us in mind, right? That's any more than like Fireball is, right? Like we're not,
but it is.
They're not catching like the connoisseur market with Fireball, and I don't think they will with this, nor do they intend to. They want, young people, college kids, people who are new to whiskey. And they go, I can drink it. I can handle a 90 proof whiskey.
Yeah, I wouldn't say college kids. I wouldn't say college kids, but I would say they're trying to capture this new bourbon explosion. This new meaning, let's say 24 to 36 month bourbon drinkers, but it's not a bourbon. And that's why I think they're targeting them, because it's not a bourbon. Because if this was a bourbon, the first thing would be, this shit sucks.
Yeah,
because I can say it's not a bourbon. That's why to me it's like, well, it's not a bourbon. It's not supposed to be bourbon, so it doesn't suck. It's just
don't expect it to be bourbon.
No. But I know what it is. I knew what it was when I first tried it. Again, 30 seconds after it was handed, it's a whiskey. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That sets my
Right.
expectation.
But it's like one of those things. Not that Penelope is the same, but Penelope started off relatively slow, and it caught fire, and then somebody snatched them up.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen if we wake up one morning and Travelers on the secondary market for
Oh, it's
It
$100?
already is.
I'm
It has been
gonna
on the
laugh.
They
secondary
tried
market.
it.
It already is. It's not doing well in the secondary.
And I mean, for me, I'm not on the secondary because I wouldn't. But I mean, come on, we're gonna take a $40 bottle at best and turn it into what, $100 bottle? Come on, guys.
It was a $190 bottle at the beginning, and then it turned into a $80, $90 bottle 3 days later.
Yeah. So
nuts.
I don't dig that because I feel like somebody or some entity is manipulating the market almost. I mean, I'm sorry. A 86 shitbot Toyota is still a $3,000 car. You're not gonna get me to pay 10 grand for it, and just because you got a goddamn, what do they call those antique tags on it? I'm sorry, that's not gonna make me do anything.
Yeah, but it's just Sazerac Buffalo Trace doing Buffalo Trace things. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what they do. I still stand by the fact that, or by the premise that the employees of Buffalo Trace could piss in a bottle
And people
and put a label on it, and people would buy it.
Yes.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Not that
And-
this is anywhere like that, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's just entry level. Is what I would call it.
But for us,
Very much
we no longer don't believe the hype. But every day there's new people coming into this thing as a hobby or whatever, and they want to build up their collection as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So I gotta have Traveler. Okay, it's $100. Okay, fine, I'll pay for it because I want to sit here and do the crotch shot. That
Because they think it's giving them cred.
Right.
But did you
Exactly.
notice that a lot of their collections they're all identical?
Yes.
If you go to certain groups, I mean, they're and Rob knows this. You go to a certain group, their collections are identical.
Yeah.
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 And they're
They
all
have the same
open.
thing.
Nothing's open.
It's the tater
Right.
spout special. I mean, it's the same 4 bottles.
Yep.
And
Gotta love that PA squad.
Oh
for
yeah.
me, that's what I understand because you're not even doing your research. You're just following along. You're just a part of the herd, just all sheeped in together. We got to have, the Stag Senior, the Stag Junior, the Eagle Rare, the Eagle Rare 17, the Pappy. We got to have those bottles. And if you're not, you're so quote unquote a shit eater because, somebody talked you into buying 10, 12 grand worth of alcohol that you've done zero research on and bottles you're not going to open because you're such a dick,
I think,
And
I mean, because
don't get me
it's
wrong.
more.
I don't think it's bad whiskey at all.
No.
I just don't think it would make a good mixer.
No, God, no.
It's very light. There's no body to it.
No.
No.
Much
And
too light.
it's not going to hold up to diluting it down with anything.
How-
I'm even afraid.
Like,
this
how
would
old is it?
hurt it.
Like, how much is it?
You
aged?
know what? I couldn't figure that out.
I don't know.
It's
not a
It's
good
not age
sign.
stated.
It's
but-
young.
There's no age
Me, it
statement on it
tastes
at
It,
all.
it tastes young, or
No, it does not.
It doesn't, but that's why
But
I
it doesn't
kept
taste like
saying that
anything,
maybe it
apparently,
had
other than
vanilla
vanilla.
extract.
I mean, Chuck equates that to Seagrams. To me, I equate
Yeah,
it
it's Fireball mixed with Seagrams.
And see,
to me, I equated it to a nice,
But you just said it's not
Seagram's
bad at
DO.
all.
yeah.
That
And
sounds like
see,
it's
Seagram's
a horrible
DO with a
combination.
touch of Fireball.
And see, Dave, that's why I kept saying it's to me. I kept making a joke, but I kept saying vanilla extract. Again, cigar, but all I got was vanilla extract. It just tasted. It reminded me. It honestly reminded me of being a kid, and there were two events as a kid. One, anytime we got a really, really big, heavy snow. If you're from the snow area, you know with the kids we go out and we grab that top layer of snow and put in a cup, couple drops of vanilla extract, and you
Like
kind of
snow
make your own
cone.
ice cream. Or
Yep.
Yeah.
when my grandma was making her
We haven't done that since Chernobyl. But
Well, yeah. I wouldn't do that these days. Yeah, I wouldn't do it these days. But yeah, and then
I'm glad everyone here was old enough to get that joke.
yeah, when they're making a cake or something, when they're making a cake and it's like, oh, that's got alcohol in it, and you when grandma turned her back and you try to take a dip, what's got alcohol in it? I'm gonna get drunk.
Yeah.
But I didn't get any wood from it. I just got all I got was vanilla extract. I was like, okay, this is
vanilla and a little bit of honey. I got a little bit of honey out of mine.
But I want to go back because when Chuck said orange, I was like, it's been a minute. I'm like, I think I could see orange, but I want to go try it again now.
Yeah, orange marmalade.
I think I can see the orange. Okay. I can see that. It was just sweet.
Revisit.
You got me curious enough to want to try this thing now.
I'm sorry.
I won't.
I went a different.
Well,
direction.
I don't think you'll hate it. I don't know that you'll like it, but you won't hate it.
Yeah, I hear that.
I just think it's geared more towards people that aren't ready for complex whiskey.
Yeah.
Like beginners, Chris Stapleton fans, and I'm not trying to belittle them, but I just think it's going to be more for like new people new to whiskey, and I do know that the ladies like it, so there you go.
That's what I was thinking. It's a ladies' drink.
Entry level.
Yeah,
entry level. Yeah,
and the thing with these celebrities coming out with their own drinks now, it's getting further out of hand. Shannon Sharp, the football player who now has a podcast, he has a cognac out. Jay-Z's drinking something out of a Grammy last night. I saw on some Instagram posts. So it's almost like people are just signing their names to stuff more than anything else. Yeah, it's a money grab. You're right, Gino.
It's not like Stapleton made the whiskey. Like,
well, but again, it's like Chuck was saying. It's a Buffalo Trace thing. So if they piss in a bottle, they tell you, this is what it is, and people would buy it. And again, like he said, everybody wants to have these certain bottles in their collection. And I guess at one point I was like hell bent on getting Stag Senior, but as things and time has gone on, I'm like, no, I'm not paying $600 for a bottle anymore. I'm
gonna tell you right now, if you want Stag Senior, don't waste your time with the new stuff, the newer stuff.
Yeah,
you have to go back to the Dusties and get yourself one of those, like 2010, 11. 16, 17.
Did the quality go down or just?
I think so. The last thing I tried may have been a 20 or 21. We talked about it, but I think maybe a 21. It was decent, but I've heard folks that didn't like it, but I can't remember because I know I used to like Stag. Again when it was $100 a bottle. I was like, what? I'm not paying $100 for damn whiskey.
There was that one year, and I don't remember the year, but there was that one year they did not issue it.
Yep.
21.
That's 21. Oh, that's 20. What's that? 21, 22.
There was because it did not come out. They pulled it back, and they weren't released any of that year.
That was Harlan Wheatley's first try at it.
Okay, so the one I'm
I think the thing has changed on it. But what do I know?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It almost seems like some of the fun is being taken out of it. And a lot of the brothership, the brotherhood, and the educational aspect has really been taken out of this whole thing. It's all about collecting now.
It's all about flex and collecting.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it's all about.
But I have to agree with you.
So, and didn't we have that in the first cigar boom in the 90s?
Yeah.
You had a lot of that. I mean, it's going to take some time for it to run its course. Bourbon's not going anywhere now.
Well,
made its comeback.
It's a social status thing, and that's why you can talk about on the groups. These guys, they all have the same exact collection, right? They all got the same bottles. They're all, we're all doing the same thing, and that's within that group that you got that status, so you don't look like a scrub or one of the poors, like on my thing, like whatever it is, and like I don't know. the only time I get on social media anymore is when I set up the StreamYard for this, is to open up Facebook so I can open up Messenger, so I don't have to like hand copy the link into like the Messenger app on my phone. And I was on there, like after I posted it here in the chat, I was on there for about, I got sucked in for a second. I spent about like 10, 15 minutes just scrolling through, and I'm like, Jesus, I do not miss this shit. Because literally nothing has changed. It's all the same people doing the same, whether or not it's whiskey or whether or not it's, there's things you want to get into, social issues, politics, all that crap. Like nothing has changed. It's all the same, horse race, basically, and the bourbon groups are no different than that. And, the power of not even being aware that other people really care about this on a day-to-day basis, it is a gift I give to myself, so do what makes you happy, right? If you like that bottle, get that bottle. If it's not for you, who gives a shit what anybody else thinks about what you have,
basically,
but with anything
unless they're going to buy it for you,
like anything like that, though, what I think has a tendency to happen, people start to get down on themselves if they don't have something.
Because it's your social status. It's your.
But okay, listen. We all grew up in a time where, just for instance, if you wanted to bully me, you had to do it to my face. You had to have enough nuts to bully me to my face.
Yeah.
So what I feel like is happening.
We're in the after show now, by the way, unofficially.
Right. What I feel like happens with some of these groups and some of these posts, they're almost bullying people.
Oh yeah.
You're poor if you don't have a 1,800 bottle of Stags or whatever it is. And I don't care who you are. This economy and this shit sucks right now. Everything's ridiculous. So it's turning from educational to a hobby to now bullying people, and I see the way some of these people talk to each other. And I mean, I don't miss any of these groups that I've been kicked out of. I don't even realize it anymore. But it's like, really, you gonna criticize somebody because they don't have this?
Oh yeah.
I mean, what if it's
not help you? Don't put a cube of ice in your drink, dude.
I mean, but
this is what keeps people up at night.
Are you really gonna really gamble your mortgage or your food or whatever just so you can have this bottle of alcohol?
Yeah, but Billy, some people are out there paying the mortgage and the car payment with those bottles.
With that bottle of whiskey, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's when it gets real weird. They're fighting in the stores and beating each other up and pushing grandmother out of the way in the store and all that bullshit.
Grandma needs her gin now. I can't be.
I know she needs her vodka.
Wow.
Oh, man.
But don't you dare put an ice cube in that drink. Don't you dare.
At that point, it's no longer for me. I've never stood in line for a bottle. If somebody's giving me some information, I can go over to a local store and, okay, yeah, he was right, and pick up a bottle, cool. But camping out, pushing grandma out the wheelchair and all, no.
Because it's not about the whiskey anymore at that point. It's almost ego, a side issue. Like it's a little bonus that you go home with a bottle. It's about the feeling of getting something. It's like it's almost like hoarding behavior. I don't know.
I don't have a problem if you're a connoisseur and a collector. I can understand that. I can really get into that. But if you're literally buying the bottles to sit on your shelf and take a couple of Instagram or Facebook posts and that's it, then I don't understand the concept. I don't
collecting. A little bit of insight I got from my fiance, she's doing her internship now. Like she's almost like a licensed therapist. She's working towards it.
Nice.
One of the things that she learned about is she's actually in a class now about like addictions and things like that. And she's reading a book, or her professor, I can't remember which one it is, actually had an addiction. And it reminded me of people who collect like $high whiskey, that this guy goes, he's a wealthy guy, he's a professor, he writes books and stuff like that. So he's got a lot of money, so he can afford to do this. But he will go and buy, and it sounds inane to us, he will buy classic music like CDs. Like he'll go into a store and to the point where he has like 12 copies of the same CD. Like, the fuck are you going to do with it, right?
Selling
But
them.
it's not the point. Having it is not the point. It was like the feeling he got when he would buy the thing, when he acquired it. He brought it into his little nexus
It's a win.
of his life. It's a win. It satisfies him. But to the point where he was spending like $5,000 a month on CDs. What the fuck are you going to do with all these CDs? Obviously, there's something unhealthy. And he's like, yeah, I know my addictions are not like other people's. Yes, I'm very privileged. Yes, it's not something that's physically destroying me. I could actually do this sustainably, but I also know it's not healthy. It is an addiction I struggle with versus like someone who's like, who's struggling with drugs or alcohol, or, whatever. Like, there are many forms of addiction. I do kind of think some people get so obsessive about collecting certain bottles and like what it means to them and what it represents. I think it very much falls in that category.
But what he doesn't know is his kids are going to sell those damn things at a yard sale.
Oh yeah.
He's
like
going
10 cents each.
And I'll be perfect and not knocking.
What's a CD player?
Well, here's the crazy thing.
It came before Blu-ray. What's Blu-ray?
It's wild. I don't think I've seen an actual CD player in probably at least 10 years.
Yeah.
I should say albums because I think different formats.
Well, but
albums, still the point. Like
vinyl pressed albums are on the way back.
Oh yeah,
that's one thing, but that's not normative. No, I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, but you don't need 12 of them, right? Of the same album,
right? No.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not gonna tell somebody how to collect whatever it is that they collect or whatever. People would think I got an addiction because why do you have 8 chef knives and 14 boning knives? And I mean, but these are just tools that have some sentimental value to them that I've collected over the years. Do I buy a new knife every other week? Fuck no. Absolutely not. So for me, I look at the whole thing with the bourbon and the whiskey thing. I don't care how you collect or what you collect. If you can afford to do it, then cool. I just don't think you should try to make somebody feel bad because they're not doing it at your level.
They're not doing it,
because I do realize if you have certain items, they can be considered an investment. And the shit ever hit the fan and you needed some money, you can actually do something with it. So I'm all for it. I absolutely am. But at the same time, I would never make anybody feel bad because, if I pay $125 for a nice Hinkle chef knife, am I gonna make somebody feel bad because they only want to spend $12 on a Walmart knife? No, no. We're two different people for two different reasons. So I would never do it. But some of the posts I've seen, and I even hate to bring him into it. Jack Frost made a post the other day on TikTok, and he was sitting out in the middle of the snow opening up somebody sent him something, and he was almost making people feel bad that they didn't have it. I didn't even finish watching it when he started going off the rails with it. So when I see people doing that kind of thing, I'm kind of like,
it's a turnoff.
No. Yeah, it's not worth it at that point. It's just not. I don't understand it. I don't know. Listen, if you're gonna try to bully me over some bourbon, you're gonna have a long day because I just don't care. I really, really just don't care. I'd rather fight you over, sitting down and speaking with somebody who's been in business for the last 50 years. Let me get some knowledge from them,
Exactly.
I'll fight you over that maybe, but I'm not going to try to make somebody feel bad about bourbon. I eventually, if I don't drink it, listen, if something happens to me, my child and my wife, they're going to sell every goddamn bottle I have that ain't open. I promise you that. Every goddamn one. The Jeep will be gone. They'll keep my knives probably. But other than that, everything else,
it's all going.
It's all going. And you're not into it, then don't keep it, Right. And I can appreciate somebody, like I said, somebody who's a connoisseur and a collector. I can really appreciate that because that person has probably put some thought and some effort and some real research. They've built relationships. They've spent money with different stores. They've been a part of the ecosystem.
For sure.
That I get. I can dig that. But just to say, oh, I'm gonna go into this secondary group and I'm gonna buy a bottle of Traveler so I can talk shit on the internet.
That's all.
To me,
No.
you're a poser.
There's a hole in your life that you're trying to fill with this artificial shit. You maybe need to do some introspection instead.
Billy,
But,
I gotta ask a question, man.
Shoot.
Are you wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates hat?
Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
buddy.
I clocked that as soon as he came on. I was like, man, I see the Pirates hat.
Listen, it may sound crazy. I'm a football fan, but when it comes to baseball, I'm a fanatic. I am a true fanatic. I
Love it, man.
It's the one. So when it comes to basketball, because I'm here in Miami, I'm a Miami Heat fan. When it comes to football, as bad as they suck, I'm a Dolphins fan. But when it comes to baseball, not that I don't have
We
loyalty.
started out well this season.
They did.
Oh,
But with baseball,
And I got second place in my fantasy because of them. But anyway, go ahead.
people don't think it's a competitive sport because it seems to be slow at times. But listen, bro, I in high school I was a nut in baseball, and baseball is my favorite sport by far. By far.
Okay.
Yeah. But
David,
yeah, bro.
I'm stupid enough. I'm still my friends that I do a season package of tickets. We were doing 20 games. We added somebody else into our group. So between the four of us, the four couples in the group, we did a half a season this year.
Dave, we got to do a fantasy league next year, man.
Yeah, I'm down.
And Rob, what I do is anytime
I don't even
go
watch games.
to
I just watch the numbers.
A different
I'm not
state,
good. I just fucked up this year.
even if it's baseball season or not, I always go to the stadium and take a picture. I'll never forget my first trip to Wrigley Field. It was absolutely life-changing. Yeah. Absolutely. When I was in San Francisco and I went to the stadium, oh my God.
Did you go to the old Candlestick?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, now that I'd like to see that.
See, that is kind of cool.
When it gets warm in Pittsburgh again and it's baseball season, if you come north, you got to come to PNC Park because it's one of the top two or three ballparks in the country.
Is PNC is that by the river?
Yeah,
right on.
It's on the river.
I haven't been to the new one yet since they moved, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, beautiful stadium. You got to come to PNC Park.
Man. Bar right there.
What's that?
You garbled out on us. We lost you for a sec.
Oh, sorry. Isn't there a Bar Louie right by the stadium?
There is. I don't know if
it's a couple of bars.
Bar Louie is still.
I've been to the bars up there.
You like Bar Louie?
There's a whole shit ton of bars.
We were working. I was working at the VA there. Actually, since we've been on the show. No, yeah, because you were out of town at the time, Rob. And we were there when I was with the VA, and went down there.
Southern Tier Brewing is right there. Now they've got a full on outlet.
I like Southern too.
Okay. Yeah, they've got a full on. They're brewing there. Plus they're bringing stuff in from the Maine up in New York, and
nice.
That's usually my go-to place if I'm down that way. And there's a Rocky Patel cigar lounge down there.
That definitely wasn't there last time I was up there.
I don't know what that is.
Good
nice
place
bar.
to go.
Nice.
It's a beautiful bar. At night it tends to get a little
cheesy.
Yeah. It's. I go during the day. At night there's just a different
they have
crowd.
A bourbon cake. At least the one bourbon cake. If they have the bourbon cake, get that
bourbon cake.
Yeah, it's like a bourbon pound cake. It's excellent.
I'll look next time I go.
That does sound good.
Bourbon pound cake.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we are actually past the hour, so we're kind of well past our time. I've been having fun, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah,
so.
real quick before we take off. Again, so the marinara sauce, I don't know what kind of run it's going to be as far as production goes, but I'm going to make a full batch this Sunday, and I'm going to send you guys out. I'm going to try to send each one of you guys at least 2 bottles of it. I want everybody to try to make something different. I want somebody to make like some real homemade meatballs, I want somebody to do like a chicken parm. I want somebody to do
Oh, I got you.
like a lasagna.
I'm gonna do basic ass spaghetti. Okay, that's all I can
No,
do. Right?
that-
We'll make damn spaghetti
I'll
with
take
that.
the chicken
Yeah,
parm.
That's
delicious.
fine. And I know Chuck was saying the family really loves it. So Chuck, I want you guys to do your best, and I
Okay.
need feedback because
All
if
right.
I do keep the production up, if I need to make any changes,
100%.
I will
So
take pictures and
I'm
stuff
on
this
this.
time.
yeah,
I'll
so
take
I gotta
pictures
do
as
it.
well.
I'm not going to give any kind of profile because I don't want to distort anybody's thoughts of it. Just have at it and let me know what you think.
I
Okay.
got a
There he
question for
is.
Rob.
Yeah.
Primanti Brothers, how's that place?
Excellent.
Go to the original one, right? Go to the
If it-
original
Indeed.
one. Don't go
right.
to any of
Kids
the
are
chains.
offering it up. I enjoy it.
Is it a chain?
You gotta.
It is
Yeah.
now.
It is.
It didn't used to be.
They've become a pretty big chain.
Oh,
So if you're in town, go to the one that's in the strip district. That is the original one. That's where, and God bless her, the old lady used to come up and cheat.
Yeah.
You get harassed when you placed your order. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they
no,
talk shit
go
to you.
go to
Like,
the first
they're
one.
fucking rude.
She
on
would.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's one on Fort Lauderdale Beach, and what I
Yep.
like about that one, it's a hole in the wall. So they're not trying to be fancy.
well, good.
Nope.
You walk in, it's either you're sitting right at the counter or there's like two tables
That-
behind you, and none of the chairs match. So
Right.
when
No,
I tell
that
you-
was
How
that
is
may
the
have been
whole
number
mall?
2. That was
Hey.
probably the second. Fort Lauderdale was the second one
yeah.
because the brothers split it up. One went to Florida and started doing stuff down in Florida. That
we
was
got
probably
we
the
got
second one.
a bootleg version of Permane Brothers in Nashville. It's called Piranhas, and it was opened by two people that used to be cooks at Permane Brothers, and they're like, we might be kind of sort of stealing what they were doing and starting our own thing. And I guess it's different enough they didn't get their asses sued. But they're in Nashville downtown, so
Yeah,
I've
no.
been there a couple times.
Well, that
Chuck,
always
I
if
actually
you're
got
in
thrown out
town,
of there
go to
once,
the-
but it wasn't my fault. But
Go to
that
the
always
original, man.
happens. So
I was with
the-
somebody. They
Jody?
passed out. No, one Jody either. But
I'm definitely going to check out that St. Elmo's.
they were passed out and got
Steakhouse.
86th.
the
So-
same people, the people who there was two guys who worked at Hooters. They got into it with the owners and started Twin Peaks.
Right.
Yeah.
Here we have Flanagan's got into it with the owner and they started Quarter Decks. It
Yeah.
always happens. It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Derivation. For
So
real. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the live show. Feel free to stay and continue to hang out.
I got more blood, sweat, and tears to put in the restaurant
Good
tomorrow.
Man, I hear you. I hear you.
Gentlemen, love y'all.
It's been a pleasure
guys.
as always.
Much
Be
love.
good to yourselves.
Papa
Papa
Lou.
Lou, be good, man. Happy birthday.
Hello, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Papa Lou.
Cheers, you guys.
Mhm.
Take care. We'll see you next week.